All right. Howdy, y'all. You're here with me. We're, such reading books. Right now, I'm reading Perloo the Bold by HUAH. And we are on chapter 16. Whoa. What is it? Okay, sorry. I'm just going to dive in because I didn't really have an intro for this session. But I just want to read, so let's do it. War against me? Perloo cried. What are you talking about? Surely among Montmers there is talk, gossip, rumor. Oh, bird's teeth, Perloo said. If you ask me, I could tell you anything you wanted to know about the politics of Ficlau the Proud, or even Eldor the Empty, but I don't know much about politics now. Perloo, Wayanato said. Didn't Magwat tell us that ignorance is the cruelest weather? Perloo said nothing. Your tale, Wanyano continued, is difficult to believe. Hauled out of your burrow, proclaimed as a granter, you insist you know nothing about what is happening? It's true, Perloo insisted. The packmaster reached into his jerkin and pulled out a sheet of bark. This was sent to me. It came from Berwick. Read it, Wanyano said somberly. Perloo took the letter into his paws. It kind of shows it here, which I think is cool. To Packmaster Winyano of the Felbart tribe, from Berwick the Big, heir to the title of Montmers Granter. Be advised, my esteemed mother Jolane the Good is in poor health. She is not expected to live long. When she dies, it is I, who as master, of course, shall become Granter. Oh, as a matter, of course. When the time comes to take my place on the Satop, it will be my duty to take up the dragonfly wing pike and lead my Montmers warriors into all those lands and territories east of Tingward Creek that rightfully belong to the Montmers tribe. When you hear of Jolane's death, be warned. You are hearing a declaration of war. In this, I have the support of all Montmers. Indeed, many have begged that I take this action. I therefore urge you to accept our claims and retreat as soon as possible from your legally held lands, and so save the spilling of Felbart blood. Signed, Berwick the Big, Granter to be. Oh, dry dust, Perloo murmured. When did this come? Some 20 moon glows ago. Where is Tingwar Creek? It's not on any map we know. Have you expanded your territory? No. Then nothing is true here, Perloo cried, except that Jolane was dying. Perloo, Wanyano snapped with his bitterness. You just claimed you knew nothing of what passes for politics in your tribe these days. How can you now be so sure this letter isn't speaking the truth? Packmaster, Perloo protested. I had many talks with Jolane. She never talked, even hinted, about making war against you Felbarts. In my last conversation with her, she warned that Berwick might be contemplating war against you. It was one of her reasons for not making him Granter. If Jolane is dead, Wanyano said, who is Granter? I suppose I am. But didn't you inform me you did not want to be Granter? Didn't you? Well, yes. Then who am I to deal with? Wanyano yelped. You or Berwick? Perloo rubbed his paws. I suppose me. Have you any followers back there? And who honor you as Granter? Who will become to your side? Perloo thought for a moment. There's my friend Lucabara, he said. Just her? There was a Chief Fergink, but I'm not sure so about him so much. Then there isn't much you can do, is there? The Felbart snapped. Berwick is in control. What if he is planning to invade us? Montmers, the packmaster went on, if I'm to believe you, you'll need to find a way to prove what you say. For all I know, you're part of an elaborate trick to lull us, perhaps even as we speak, under cover of this storm. Berwick is assembling Montmers warriors and hopping in our direction. Even if he was, Perloo offered, I don't think his army could move now. There is the blizzard, so we have some time. The packmaster gazed at Perloo. I will think about it, Wignano said. You must too. You are right. We have little time. In the meanwhile, Wignano lifted his snout. Put this Montmer in the big cell, he barked to the guard. Treat him well, but make sure he doesn't escape. Perloo didn't know if it was deliberate on Wignano's part, but the path upon which he was led took him along the edge of the large open area in the cave. There, by the light of burning torches, he observed packs of Felbarts in ranks and rows. All were helmeted and bibbed. All were marching in military order, uttering ferocious war barks as they went through elaborate military drills. The stone cell in which Perloo was placed was bare but perfectly clean. It contained a lit candle as well as a fresh pile of straw. On the wall hung an image of Magua. Perloo studied it intensely. When he compared it to the monomer images of the bird, there were some differences. Perhaps the Felbarts made the blue of her feathers darker, her eyes wider, but still, without doubt, it was Magua. Perloo tried to recall the origins of the story of Magua, how she came to be the sage of the Montmers. He knew that the book, The Adventures of Magua the Magpie, was from a time when mountain animals were at a constant war upon each other. Though birds lived their own lives, Magua a magpie, after many extraordinary adventures, brought peace to the mountain. Later, her life and sayings were collected. Still, it had never occurred to Perloo that others who lived on the mountains venerated her too. The notion fascinated and pleased him at the same time. It also reminded him of one of Magua's sayings. Truth is often painful to speak, but soothing to live. In the room, next to a jar of water, was a plate of something round, presumably edible. Feeling starved, Perloo picked one up and sniffed at it. To his relief, it didn't smell like meat. He took a careful nibble. To his surprise, it had a slightly different taste and was round. It was very much like prebe. The differences were not enough to deter Perloo. He devoured the bowl's contents. After eating, Perloo squatted against a wall and began to ponder what had happened to him. After all, it was but a short time ago that he had been in bed in his snug burrow, utterly content with reading and sleeping the cold cross away. Since then, there had been so much hopping about, so much fleeing, falling in and out of cells. He wondered where the Felbarts had taken Lucabara, if she were in some kind of danger, though he worried about her, missed her. He realized there was nothing he could do but be patient. If he had been in his own snug burrow, he'd probably be sipping tea and reading about an ancient war and enjoying it. Now, he was in a cave and trying to figure out how to stop a real war. Like it or not, his life had changed. Woo! Whoa! Yeah! What is it good for? Absolutely. Say it again. Yeah! Okay. That was a good little quick chapter. So yeah, Berwick's already got things in motion for war. And Perloo's just caught in the middle of it. It's caught. I think that Jolene should have reached out to him, but if she did, then he'd be ready for it to deny it. So maybe that's why she didn't tell him until she was like on her deathbed, basically. Because if she would have told Perloo, years before or whatever, he would have been like, nope, I don't want to find somebody else. Versus like caught up in the surprise of everything. And with Lucabara not telling him right off the bat, like, hey, we're trying to get you to be Granter. Come with me. They just kind of threw him into it. And now he's like, oh, crap. I'm the Granter now. So it's kind of cool. It reminds me of Stranger Than Fiction, the movie where Will Ferrell's chilling in his apartment and he doesn't want to do anything. He just wants nothing to happen. and something forcibly happens, no matter what. Eventually the bulldozer comes in and wrecks his house. So I think life has lots of moments of that where you think you're good and you're in your little bubble and something will push you out of it and you gotta figure it out. So yes, that was Perloo's Abode by HUAH. And the next chapter is chapter 17, The Labors of Cineas. Cineas, I like doing that character. I think that the next chapter will be really good. So tune in next time to Reading with True.